Did you know that around 90% of your perception and thought processes take place unconsciously? Even if we think that we go through life relatively consciously, it's actually impossible. That's because our brain receives around 11 million pieces of information every second, yet we can only consciously process around 40. So how do we do this? We do this by using two brains, or to be more precise, two different systems of thought. There is our conscious thinking that is very analytical, works with facts and data, but has very little capacity and processes information slowly. And then there is our unconscious automatic thinking that is shaped by habit and intuition, which has a large capacity and works very fast. Thanks to this unconscious automatic thinking, we have the ability to react quickly to such threats as oncoming traffic, or to decipher other people's expressions at near lightning speed. And it works so quickly because we as humans, we have the ability to learn from repetition and to develop patterns that help us to categorize information. Thinking in patterns optimizes our reaction time so much that we respond quasi-automatically. In his book, Thinking Fast and Slow, the Nobel Prize winner Daniel Kahneman describes the unconscious automatic process of thinking as System 1 and the analytical way of thinking as System 2. In our daily lives, these two systems of thought work together in tandem to get us efficiently through the day. A concrete example of how our two thought systems work together is driving a car. Driving is a complex task, but an experienced driver can do that easily while having an intensive conversation with the passenger. In this example, System 1 takes over the task of driving, while System 2, our conscious thinking, takes over the task of talking. If the road were to get suddenly busier, then we need to focus harder on driving. Thus, System 2 becomes activated and we may not be able to concentrate on the conversation any longer, as our concentration is now diverted. This example shows that our fast and slow thinking are intertwined, and therefore we often simply don't know if we are using System 1 or System 2. As we have heard, our intuitive unconscious thinking is so fast because our brain has the ability to recognize patterns and assign what it sees into categories within milliseconds. And, you probably guessed it, this can cause problems because these patterns are not always correct. They are influenced by the norms, habits, and the rules of the environments we grew up in and that we have learned through our life experiences and memories. And these patterns are shaped by the information we receive from our surrounding as we grow up. So they are rife with stereotypes and prejudices that have over time become normalized and used as an unconscious pattern that we use to routinely and rapidly sort people into groups. But if we took the time to reflect consciously on some of these patterns and shortcuts our brain uses, then we would probably discard some of them. For example, the unconscious preference for people who are similar to us in behavior or appearance. This is called affinity bias. This preference for people who are like us is unfair because it invites unequal treatment. Unconsciously, we trust them more, we are more likely to help them, and we are more lenient with them when they made a mistake. This affinity bias is so ingrained in us that we can even see it neurologically. Brain imaging studies show that when subjects are shown faces of out-group members, these are people who do not look like us, the amygdala is activated, which is the brain's fear center. Our affinity bias is not based on facts or evidence, but more likely a leftover from ancient times when it was important for our survival to stay within the in-group and categorize out-group members as possible threats. Today, this is no longer needed, but our brain unfortunately did not do an update. So, in its most basic definition, unconscious bias is an error in decision making. It's a subtle cognitive process that happens when our brain thinks it has recognized a known pattern and then rapidly sorts people and events into groups and categories incorrectly. And as we know now, we all have unconscious bias, but that doesn't mean that there's nothing we can do about it. Research shows again and again that we cannot do away with unconscious bias completely, but we can learn to mitigate the effects of unconscious bias on us and others.